This is MFT Raw, and here is some weekly camera news. If you're in the market for an action camera, then you have a decision to make. With the GoPro Hero 13 Black and the DJI Action 5 Pro both recently being released and packed with features to tempt you. But now Insta360 have made your first world dilemma a little bit harder with the launch of the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. It is the biggest of the three, but of course, being an action camera, it still remains small enough to mount pretty much anywhere. It is available to buy right now, and here is the full rundown of the specs. But before we get into that, I have to look at this image on the Insta360's website, which compares the Ace Pro 2 to other action cameras, but what action camera looks like this? This is clearly Photoshop blur tool, I mean, come on, man. But anyway, the headline for this is, of course, that 8K video resolution, as well as 4K 60 HDR video. The sensor is a 1/1.3-inch unit, matching the size of the DJI. It has 13.5 stops of dynamic range, and that sensor is covered by a Leica f2.6 lens with a 150-degree field of view. The dual setup uses a Pro imaging chip, which deals with noise reduction and image processing, plus a 5nm chip, which is there to speed everything up. They reckon a 100% increase in performance and a 100% increase in low light details. Compared to what? They didn't exactly say. There are some nice software touches in there too, such as MegaView, which can straighten out the fisheye distortion without cropping the image. AI Highlights Assistant can find peaks in the action and edit that together, or Auto Edit can simply edit multiple clips all in camera. But for me, I think one of the nicest features is Bluetooth integration. It will let you pair your wireless microphone or even your earbuds with your camera, so you can always be heard regardless of the environment, and without having to buy an expensive mod to allow for external mics. This will massively appeal to the motor vloggers or any biker or cyclist for that matter who wears an action cam. The Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is available now, and it starts from £389 for the camera alone, with a multitude of bundles that range all the way up to the ultimate bundle for £649. Staying with action cameras, and DJI are super busy at the moment. They have just put out their Action 5 Pro and their Air 3S drone, and now we're hearing that they're about to enter the 360-degree camera market with a rival to the Insta360 X4 and the GoPro Max, called the DJI Osmo 360. The leak comes from an FCC filing, so there really isn't too much to go on regarding specs, but this is just more evidence that DJI are rushing to get as many products to market before they are placed on the FCC blacklist. Yes, unfortunately, just like what happened to Huawei a few years ago, the US government have judged DJI to have too much access to customer data, which they claim is accessible by the Chinese government, and as a result, you won't be able to purchase DJI products in the United States after a certain date, which hasn't been pinned down exactly yet, but it is thought to be sometime in the next year. Moving on to something a little less depressing, and the specifications for the forthcoming Canon R6iii have surfaced online via a Chinese website. Now, it should go without saying that we should approach all of these rumors and leaks with a certain amount of skepticism. But these new specs do align with specs that we've heard back in May already, and they are pretty tasty, so I do hope that they're true. The rumored R6iii specs are a 24-megapixel LC1720 sensor. This is a stacked, backside illuminated sensor that is currently found in the Canon R3. There is a Digic accelerated processor with a total of 8.5 stops of collaborative stabilization. The same focusing system as the Canon R5 II. Now, if that is true, then I think that is a big deal. The Canon R5 II's focusing system is up there with the very best. Plus, it has eye control AF, allowing you to simply look at what you want to be in focus while you're looking through the viewfinder. This tech first appeared in the Canon R3, and now hopefully it will trickle down to the R6 II. We've got a highly reliable 14-bit, 30 frame per second raw electronic shutter with continuous shooting readout speeds of 1/180th of a second, which is pretty fast. For reference, the Canon R5 II has a readout speed of 1/160th of a second. AI processing with an in-camera neural network noise reduction and high resolution magnification. The camera will support XF ABCS and XF HEVCS recording of Cinema 4K 120p in Super 35 mode, and 6K oversampled Cinema 4K, and support 6K 30 and 4K 60 with Cinema Raw Light recording. And finally, this is an interesting story. A store in Vietnam has listed the Sony A7V on their website, and they're taking pre-orders for it, despite nobody knowing anything about the product just yet. The kicker is that they have an image of the device which is thought to be fake. However, this fake image shows a camera that many are wishing the new Alpha will look like. The design features a top screen that accommodates all of the functions and seems to be integrated with the controls for shutter speed, ISO and exposure compensation, as well as its mode dial. It looks cool, it's modern, and although it was almost certainly fake, many are hoping that there is at least a kernel of truth to it, me included. Sony are in fact expected to be releasing a camera in November. There is no word on exactly what that camera will be, but the A7 IV is due an upgrade. It is in fact the only camera left in the lineup that does not use a dedicated AI chip. With cameras like the Nikon Z6 III and the Canon R6iii on the horizon, Sony really do need to counter these cameras as they will be extremely popular. We really have no idea on what is coming from Sony in November, but if it looks anything like this, then I think they're onto a winner. But what do you say, real or fake? Let me know down in the comments. And that's it for today. Hit like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week for another news hit.
Peace.